Bounds the cast. We are here with, we believe, episode 7, which is where the Raptors were supposed to land in the NBA lottery draft. But we'll get to that in a moment.
We will.
I am Adam. As always, I'm Joe. Junior. Junior, are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, real quick. We got to jump into the draft before the beer bracket. Raptors landed at not number 7, not number 6, not number 5, but number 4. So that's good news for the Raptors. So
very good news.
Hopefully, I still want to see them try to trade up because we need Evan Mobley on our team badly. He's a guy that could fit really, really nice in with our team, and we need a big up front there. So let's see what happens with that. But, Junior, I'm going to pass it over to you to break down the final installment, I believe, of the Cider Region.
Thank God.
Let me guess. Is it a grapefruit?
No, thankfully. So we had to actually swap out one of the contestants. We're not able to get that. So we've replaced that with the Ace Hill Lime Radler. So a lime.
Ooh,
and
that's a nice can, too.
Yeah. So they're in the sixth spot.
Okay.
No, third spot. Sorry. They're the 3 seed. Okay. And then in the 4th seed is the Pump House Crafty Radler. This is grapefruit and tangerine.
All right, what are you kicking off with there?
This is an interesting little.
Is it 2.5 or what?
4.7.
Oh wow! So that's the highest of the ones that we've seen like that thus far. What is this, like an LOL surprise doll that the kids like? What the heck is that?
I guess you can just take the label off.
You know why they did that?
No.
Even more progressive on the recycling front.
There you go.
Kudos. I like that.
Or you can slide a cozy over this very nicely to make it look like Arizona iced tea.
Or you can just walk down the street drinking a can that nobody knows what it is and you can't get a ticket for it. No. The official brown bag of Canada here.
Sorry, officer. This is a can of peaches.
Exactly.
Monte.
Nobody knows. Interesting. That's definitely what the strategy was.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what you're drinking, so They assume it's not beer.
Oh, get out of here. It's a Stella. Nice color.
That's interesting, eh? The tangerine's coming through.
Yeah. Bottoms up.
All right, there you go. Cool. All right, so with that, we'll let you – at least it's 4.5, and you don't have to,
Dude, I'm going to be honest. This is a very nice taste.
Really?
Very nice taste.
So is that tangerine or orange, whatever it is, kind of?
They're mixing really well, the grapefruit and the tangerine. It's a really nice kind of fruity texture. I'm not into the fruity, but still, it's not bad.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's jump right into the topics here because we got a pretty full agenda here, and there's quite a few things we want to chat about. So let's start off with Bitcoin here. So this is called the Death Cross.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? What does that mean for us?
So basically, their running total is going below and meeting their basically where their projections are, right? So you're getting this. So it's basically trending in the opposite direction of where people want it, which is usually in the finance world a huge sign to sell off, especially even if it's a security.
Okay.
And the thing with Bitcoin is because it's considered now a very volatile type of investment. As you can see, the fluctuation of $20,000 over the last 6 months that's a pretty big kind of drop.
So here we go. It says the original cryptocurrency has formed a death cross, meaning its average price over the last 50 days fell below that of its 200-day moving average. Okay. So the indicator is typically seen as closely watched technical measure that could offer a hint at more pain to come. This looks like it's coming out of some crackdowns in China that have triggered some of the Bitcoin sell-off.
Well, that's the first part that triggered it. There was the rumors that China was going to crack down on the use of the crypto, and then obviously Elon jumping in with Tesla saying that they're no longer going to accept that, and it kind of just sparked this massive dump. Hopefully people kind of got off, even if they sold half of what they had when it was at that 50, 55, 60K mark, just made a little bit of money off of it. But this starts to seem like it's going to be a bit of a tanking. I mean, I think, as me, I like to have a tangible stock, a company behind it that's doing something. Warren Buffett would tell you, invest in a company that does something for people. And if they're trying to change the world, Bezos says the exact same thing. So
Shaq kind of repeats the same thing.
He does. And that's what they do. And they end up being very profitable because of the way the way they look at investing. And with something that's non-tangible, I mean, this is something that you can lose. People have lost coin.
Billions.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in coin just gone because they can't remember their passwords. So the volatility of that and the fact that you can just lose it for no reason. I mean,
and really at the end of the day, what's the product? What's the service? To me, the only thing I can see where there's a tangible, not even tangible, but some sort of idea or theory behind what Bitcoin is, it's really the security is the service, right? That blockchain is that service, the secured information.
Yeah, because no one can screw around with it.
Yeah, but I mean, what are they not screwing around with? The fact that your investments in something that can go up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
So is this signaling now? Like, what's rest of crypto doing right now? Like,
the fad might be dead.
What's Ethereum doing? Like everybody, Gary Vee's talked about it. These guys have talked about it. It's been a hot button issue for some time now. Is like, this is the future, but is it the future? I don't know.
Well, the thing that you can see, right, is when Bitcoin came out, the younger generations were all over it, just because it was the new thing. It was hip to have coin, and I think it took a while for the older generation, who seems to have most of 90% of the money in the market right now, to kind of jump on board a little bit. Yeah, and I still think that some of those old heads just they ain't about it because there's nothing in return. The stocks that I have, I always look for high yield dividend stocks where they're paying you just for owning their stock.
Yep.
Even if it's 3%, 5%, 6%, what you do is you take those earnings and you dump it right back into it.
Better than any savings account.
It is. And when they're providing services or technological advancements or environmental advancements,
there's people behind driving change about that organization, that company. There's an adaptation. There's market fluctuations.
Exactly. So that's what you want to invest in, because if you find some little company that's trying to create power grids in a more efficient, sustainable manner with reusable energy, and it actually works, and the world adopts it, well, guess what happens to your stock? It goes through the roof because they're now a worldwide service provider with respect to reusable and renewable energies.
Absolutely.
So if you're investing and you're looking to get in on something, don't look at cryptocurrency. Yeah, people can say, "Oh, you missed the boat on crypto." There's so many more worthwhile things to invest in out there than just a coin that you're never going to have in your hand ever.
Do you think this is going to have an impact on NFTs as well?
Just of course,
it kind of falls into that similar category.
Of course it is. Go on eBay right now and look at Top Shots being sold, or Topps has the bunt. They've got like a digital baseball card. You can get them for $1. Star players, maybe $15 at the most.
Party's over.
It's over.
Coming out of this pandemic situation, I'm sure people want more tangible things, not less now, right?
Exactly.
Stuck at home, we've been living in this digital world, and now people want to get out there and get their hands on stuff and feel it and touch it.
At the end of the day, it's like this. You walk into a shoe store, you say, "Give me a pair of Jordans," and they give you a picture, and they say, "These are the Jordans you own, but they're in a warehouse, and you're never going to get them."
Yeah, exactly.
Are you still going to pay $300?
They still exist, though. If that was
they exist. They're there. They're there, but you're never going to get them. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Come again.
Okay. Stephen A. Smith has lost his damn mind. This man came out and said that Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant. And I want to start this off here because I have that connection to Kobe and meeting him and getting him to sign this magazine right here with the 3 championships off his first three-peat. But this is what it is. Stephen A., my man. I enjoy the antics. I enjoy the energy. We all appreciate what you do for the sports world and in kind of creating that energy in these story narratives. Kobe was not the next Jordan, and Devin Booker is not the next Kobe. There is no next of next. It doesn't work that way. Okay, Devin Booker is an incredible basketball talent, and he is yet to hit his prime, and he is going to get better and better. And he was kind of, Kobe was a bit of his mentor. Kobe Bryant was a killer. Okay, this guy was a real problem on the basketball court and had work ethic like no one else, which is why he didn't pass the ball on a recent quote from Handy. Junior, what do you think about Stephen A on this? And I think you're kind of probably in my line, but what are your thoughts here?
What? You out of your goddamn mind.
This is crazy talk, right?
Stephen A. Smith, have you ever been right about anything? Anything?
He might have been, but it wouldn't have been in that year that he actually would have said that he was right.
Well, we're going to get to Stephen A.'s stupid list after this, but I'm going to tell you right now. Number one, Devin Booker will never, ever be anywhere close to Kobe Bryant. He might wear his shoes. He might have a jersey.
I'm wearing a sunset.
You're wearing a sunset. But let me tell you this, Stephen A. Smith. There was. I still say is because he's still here. There is and there was only one Kobe Bryant. There will never, in the history of this game, be anyone like him. Again,
if everybody could do it, they would have already done it.
And you got to drop this greatest ever. We don't know. There ever hasn't ended yet, okay? We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. So stop this greatest ever talk. He's the best that there has been up to this point. The best this season. Not the best there ever was or ever will be. Nope. Get it straight. Stick to arguing with Max because he don't know what he's talking about either. But let's get to this
Iguodala, man.
Yeah.
Fate of the world on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy I don't want taking a shot.
Okay, break down the stupid list here.
So this was the keys to Stephen A's rant on why Brooklyn lost. Number 5, Giannis showed up. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Guy looked
number
gassed.
4. Yeah. Kyrie's injury. Maybe. I'll go 50-50 with you on that.
It's possible that he actually could have hurt Brooklyn's chances.
Yeah. Joe Harris, what were you expecting from Joe Harris? What were you expecting from him? 20 and 10 a night? Come on, man.
He's a decent 3-ball shooter. Yeah,
but
I expect 15 and 5.
You're going to expect this guy to pull this team up that's got Harden and KD on it? Joe Harris is the cog?
Can't play defense.
Man. And number 2, Steve Nash? You going to put this on Nash? The man just got there. He just got there. He hasn't been there for 10 years. He hasn't grown up with these guys. He's been there for not even a full year. And you're going to put that on him?
No, to his credit, 2-time MVP, understands the game better than many. Come on. But yes, I agree. Listen. And then ultimately karma. And the karma is what? Purchasing this title? Trying to buy this title?
Who hasn't done that?
That never stopped Golden State when Durant went there. That didn't stop LeBron from wherever he went.
Stephen A. Smith, you out your damn mind.
This guy's lost. He's losing it, man.
Yeah. Stick to just arguing with Max. Like, stop coming out.
Hey, hold on a second. What's worse is Magic Johnson's nodding his head when
Well, hold on. I think Magic was just like, oh, man, this is a crazy-ass man.
Okay.
I don't think Magic was agreeing with him.
I don't think he's on that kind of level. Mm-mm. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Stephen A, man. You're killing me, man. I enjoy the laughs, but we're gonna have to cut you right there, bud.
Yeah, you still are not allowed in the city of Toronto.
All right, let's move over to the Kardashians reunion. This might be faster than we anticipated.
Yeah.
So they had a reunion. They have their show running for whatever 20 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Ryan Seacrest made crap loads of money on this show as an executive producer, and then ultimately they came on as executive producers as well. They're gone for a year, and already they're having a reunion show. I don't know. I don't even know what to say here.
I'll say this. I'm going to respect their grind, right? But let's be honest.
Yeah, they got the money. There's no doubt about that.
The money was already there.
They're counting checks.
Their father left them with more than enough. But what they did is they took that and they turned it into an empire. Chris is a very smart woman. She did exactly what she had to do to get these girls where they are. But this show where they're talking about past beefs and, oh, I only did this much surgery and I didn't do that and I would never do that. Like, listen, you know what I want to see? I want to see a reality show of a small town, middle America family that's struggling to pay bills and love conquers all type stuff. Okay. Not these girls who come from money. You know, their father wasn't a janitor. He was a high-priced criminal lawyer.
True. Yeah.
You know, and then once he passed away, Chris married an ex-Olympic athlete who had more than enough money to splash around. I want to see a show where they're not surgically altered in any way. You know, they've got an ugly sister or a goofy-looking brother or like real people. That's reality TV, not this made-up fairy tale BS.
Okay? Well, they have real problems too, but they don't really talk about those, right? It's talk about something else or something line or.
Yeah, their maid didn't clean up their breakfast quick enough. Like, what kind of problems do these people have? They don't have regular day people problems. They just throw money at it. I want to see a show with a dad who's working 60 hours a week and a mom who's barely holding it together and kids who are just trying to grow up, you know.
That's the rags to riches story, right?
That's rags to riches, you know. People can get behind that. I mean, but I get it. People want to see what the upper crust do and how they live, and it's unattainable. It's unattainable as a human being. And I think that's one of the issues with society right now is we all want, you know, to see what the Joneses have instead of like help out your neighbor if you're struggling or you see someone struggling on the street.
A lot of people struggling right now. If you can lend a hand, please do it.
So, you know what? You've been away for a year. Friends waited, 10 years to do a reunion? You guys are coming back after a year? Come on, man. Like,
there's a show in the works, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's spin-offs, you know. Kylie and someone are going to go start a $1 billion company with you know, only $100 million investment.
Can't knock the hustle, no doubt. Unreasonable doubt, Jay-Z.
I can't knock the grind. So,
all right. So good news for us. We have to go in around the way to do it. We have a show on Thursdays. If you are familiar with our channel, we do an Offside betting show where we give you our predictions. We talk a little bit about the games, different sports. We're big on Euro right now. Go look at those. We'll be live on Thursday with, roundup and all that jazz. But sports betting, single game sports betting is coming to Canada.
It is about time.
Long enough, eh?
My goodness. The amount of times that I've gone to use ProLine and the minimum's always been 3 teams and you'll hit 2 and that last one magically will not come through. So now I can go with 100% lock, walk into a store, put money down and cash my ticket. Beautiful. Yep. It's only been, I don't know, 1867, 150, 200. It's been a long time and it's about time this is happening now.
We've been waiting. I mean, what do we use now? We're using Bet365. That's where we go because that's where we can go. But now that I can walk into a store and do a ProLine bet, and it'll be interesting to see what odds are that these bookmakers start making.
And the great thing is that the money that goes into the OLG, they give a lot of money out. They help a lot of hospitals, a lot of infrastructure.
Put it back into the communities,
It's going right back in the communities. So, you know.
If I'm going to lose, that's where I want to see my money going, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's great news. We're excited for the point spread, sports select, all this fun jazz. And I wonder if this was coming from do you think the single game sports bet was coming from, hey, I don't want people always gambling on single game sports, or I don't want to pay out a ticket where someone has a lock and I want to get them to try to jump through hitting 3 for 3. What was the mentality you think?
Well, you have to remember when you put something like this together, it's how can I stack it so I can win? So the one thing that I always did with ProLine is I would always compare their odds to Vegas's odds. Yep. So if Vegas had a lower odds set than ProLine did, then that told me that Vegas was a little more confident that that team was going to win opposed to the OLG. Mm-hmm. So I would kind of use that in my system in terms of how I was figuring out how to go about it.
Okay.
But when you're taking on gaming, right? So if I'm putting $100 on 3 teams, the risk is all on them because if I hit that ticket, they're going to be paying me. So they want to make it more difficult for you to actually hit.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that any professional gambler will tell you is parlays are for dummies. You bet on one game. You put your bankroll on one game.
I'm still upset about Siakam and that one ticket. I had the Raptors on 4 different tickets, 4 different parlays, and Siakam had I don't know what he was doing. He was spinning around like it was Dancing with the Stars.
Do we want to talk about a 10-team parlay with a heavily favored France against Hungary?
I forgot about that.
We're talking about thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. The number 2 team in the tournament and in the world drew against a team that had 6 losses during qualification.
Yeah, maybe shouldn't even be there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Tell us about that. I'm gonna call it the brown bag.
Yeah. So the no-name cider, the no-name Radler.
Unreal.
Yellow can.
Such a smart idea, though.
No
that's marketing genius.
Yeah, you could say, officer, this is 0% alcohol. This is just how the can is.
We're not promoting drinking in public.
No, not at all. Anyway, I like the flavor. Wasn't too grapefruit forward. I think the tangerine really helped out with that, but it wasn't too acidic. It had a very fresh flavor.
Okay.
This is something that I would probably drink again, to be honest.
Punched up with the 4.5 because we've seen a lot of 2.5s in those Radlers. So
I've got a nice little light off of it. I actually really enjoyed this. This is a very good one.
Awesome. So tell us what we're having next here, and then I'm going to switch over the deck for us.
Okay, next up we've got the Ace Hill Lime Radler. This is 100 calories per can. A delicious Radler made with our Mexican lager and lime juice. So this might be like a limey Modelo.
Okay.
So 0% fat, 0% saturated fat, 12 grams of carb.
How the hell is it 100 calories if there's no sugar, no fat? Where's the calories?
Sodium and potassium. There's 2%, 117 milligrams of potassium. That's probably where the carb is coming.
All right, let's see it.
I've got the wife already coming over to try this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got the lime in it, right?
Well, I think she heard the 100 carbs. All right. So it literally looks like maybe a Corona with too much lime in it.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. We are jumping over. It's got that. You feel that lime?
It's interesting.
Okay.
Actually, it smells like Corona with lime in it.
Yeah, it's like a Corona with lime in it.
Okay, there you go. Percentage?
2.5.
Okay, so now we're back on the 2.5. Okay.
No, it doesn't taste like Corona with lime in it.
All right, let's talk about Will Smith. Will Smith is coming out with his memoir titled Will. This was revealed yesterday or the day before. I wonder what he's going to talk about in this memoir. Obviously, there was that kind of.
Yeah,
I want to say that under the table, Jada kind of beat him up. And he looks pretty demoralized in that Red Table Talk or Facebook show. I think it was last year. It might have been the year before, where basically she was in an entanglement with another man.
Well, you put yourself out there. He took it like a champ, though. Will, I need a cereal. I need a cartoon. I need a comic book. I need just put it all out there. We've got water. We've got spin-offs. We're living life vicariously through you on Instagram. You know what? I grew up with the Fresh Prince. I tuned in every Sunday night. Did not miss a single episode the entire time this show aired.
Greatest show.
And I can't get enough of him. Like, I've seen all of his movies. The
Huge
bad
fan
ones,
of Will Smith.
the good ones, the great ones.
I like when he's being funny, though. Although I will give a lot of kudos to Concussion. I thought he did a fantastic job in that movie.
Yeah.
CTE.
Yep. He's got range, He's definitely got range. I mean, when you want to go from Pursuit of Happiness, Suicide Squad, Wild Wild West. As bad as that was, he was still pretty good at it.
Still funny, yeah. It's still funny.
I Am Legend, The Men in Black.
Love that Legend, actually.
There was one. I'm just the name is not jumping to me right now. I'm trying to find it.
Another good one was the one where he's like a kind of superhero with Charlize Theron.
Yeah. What the hell was that? Gee, I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah, it was a good one. Hancock.
That
was a great one
that's
too.
it.
I wonder how deep he's going to go into his relationships. Will, a lot of people don't know, just the two of us. You got the son Jaden there, who is in Karate Kid, and he's a singer and whatnot. But he's got an older son from a previous marriage as well. Right?
He does.
And then also recently, on like Tupac's anniversary, Jada put out that post with Tupac, kind of, and obviously they've had a relationship in the past. I wonder how deep he's going to talk about his personal relationships. It'd be interesting to know how much of that onion he's going to really peel back and reveal.
Enemy of the State. Him and Gene Hackman, one of the greatest kind of espionage spy movies you could ever see. But the one that I was thinking about was the one where my goodness. Sorry.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. Anyway, I'd like to think that he's very honest with his fan base.
Yep.
He doesn't seem like he's one to pull any punches or kind of not pull out the entire veil around everything that is him. I think you're gonna get the core on this. I don't think he would have it any other way.
Do you think Jada's seen the book already?
I'm sure she probably had to sign off on it. I'm sure she had to say, well, you know what, before you do that, sweetheart, let me take a look at what you're saying about me in your book.
I wonder if this maybe is like
but you have to remember, Will,
maybe in some ways this is like a little shot back at her.
You have to remember, Will, back in the day when him and Jada got together, who was Jada's best friend?
I don't know.
Tupac Shakur.
Oh, okay. Tupac. Yeah, okay.
And Will always thought that him and Jada had that thing, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
And Pac didn't really like Will. And Will be the first person to tell you that. I don't think Pac liked me. But actually, Pac liked him. I think he was just a tough on him because him and Jada were so close. So when you're talking about him, Will Smith, coming into this girl's life, and she's got an icon who's kind of in the relationship with them.
Yep.
And he stuck around, and he's been through a lot with her. So I don't think that she's gonna kind of veto anything because he's trying to bare his soul, right? I mean, if he does bare his soul in this book, and you do get everything,
she kind of owes him to.
Yeah, but from what I understand,
last year,
he was okay with it, though.
They may or may not have an open kind of marriage.
I think we're
going to know more once this book comes out. I think we're going to need a lot of those details. 6
degrees of separation. That was what I was thinking of. That was way back. That was 93.
Give me Bad Boys, man. Bad Boys 1.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope that he bears it all and he just puts it all out there to lie. I mean, the guy.
Sure, it'll help him too.
Yeah, it's therapy too, right?
Yeah.
When you write a book. I mean, I've done a lot of writing, and it's very therapeutic for the soul to get everything on paper.
Yeah. Okay, let's move along here to Jordan Brand and the WNBA. So Jordan Brand has put together a group of 11 women from the NBA to join the brand as part of an effort to move, society forward in accepting and, fair pay, all this other kind of stuff. And issuing in this generation of younger women to see that they can all be, moguls and part of the team and all these great things. You see the little photo shoot there. I think I got another pop up here. Mm-hmm. So this is the WNBA family, which I love to see because Jordan Brand has a lot of great women's shoes, but there's nobody supporting that brand.
No,
in any sport. Like the fact that Yeah, Nike has like Serena, but like Serena's of that quality that she really should have been issued a Jordan shoe.
Well,
Now, Jordan doesn't do tennis, but
no. But the one thing I also have to remember is that Jordan Brand's still in competition with Nike for a lot of athletes.
they are.
The Jordan entity is still separate. It's a part of Nike, but it still operates as a separate entity because, let's be honest with you, Jordan Brand is Jordan.
It's for the elite of the elite.
That's the upper echelon, the upper crust. And these girls in the WNBA, they were already wearing the shoes. I mean, those and the Kobe's. The Kobe's are the most worn shoe in the NBA right now.
First shoe to come out with that low cut style, right?
But I think what Jordan here is doing is he's kind of sending a message to the NBA that they got to do something with this pay. Now, I get it. I understand that people are paying to see the guys play. The basketball is entertaining, high flying, the dunks, and it's a different game. And I don't think the WNBA has the fan base, but I also don't think that the NBA puts the marketing dollars behind the WNBA. Mm-hmm. And I think this is Jordan basically saying, well, I'm going to build this brand within this league. I'm going to get these women on board. I'm going to glorify them and everything that is them. We're going to get signature shoes. We are going to spend dollars. We're going to market. We're going to push their names across every venue possible. And he's the first guy to do this.
What's really cool, too, is this came out yesterday, but Becky Hammond, who's an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know if you saw this, but
she's almost there.
The finalist candidates to come in and coach the Portland Trail Blazers.
Let's go, Becky. Get that job.
Yeah.
Portland, hire her.
We support you.
100%.
She is incredible. She's actually coached as a head coach for Greg Popovich when
she learned from all the greats.
When she was out, she actually coached as head coach. So she has, but this will be a full-time head coaching job in Portland.
Yeah.
And we would love to see this.
Love it. Absolutely.
This is great for the game of basketball. This is great for all sports, and it's great for society in general.
I mean, especially for two guys like us who have daughters. And
absolutely.
The one thing that I always preach is be the boss. Don't conform. Be the boss. It's better that you're different than you conform and be exactly like everybody else. If you're louder, then carry it, own it, be loud, be verbose. Be if you're the person that walks in the room and changes everything, then you're that person and be that person. And I think it's about time that someone did this. Someone just came in and said, you know what? No one's doing anything. I might as well. And of course it has to be Mike, right? Like
he gave, I think Jordan Brand gave $100 million over, in increments of $10 million over 10 years committed when, BLM and the George Floyd thing really exploded last year.
Yeah.
Nike, Jordan Brand, these guys are at the forefront of social change. And you don't see that from a lot of companies. There's a lot of places, they don't need to do this. They're making oodles of money and they have that, they have those buyers already.
The funny thing is I'm going to take this back a little bit. There was some race issues years and years ago. The LA riots, Rodney King.
Oh man.
Jordan was a guy who was approached to join a movement and he didn't. And he got a lot of flack for not doing it.
This was backing the political candidate in North Carolina.
Yeah. And he wouldn't do it. And he just said, I can't do it. I can't get involved in politics. He just wasn't about that. And I think he's a little upset that he didn't do it. I think he kind of carried that a little bit with him, but he understood there's nothing he could do about it, and his name wasn't going to move the needle enough to make change. But everything that he's done in a quiet fashion, and sometimes you don't even hear about the things that he's doing.
He's so quiet.
He is making so much change at the grassroots that you don't even know. You'll never have an idea that his hand was behind it, and I like that. I like that Mike moves in silence. He wasn't a silent killer in the NBA. He was on the big stage every day. So for him to kind of show you what he's about now, which is you're not going to know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. And
Well, he's like
I like that.
The Black Cat, right? One of his monikers was the Black Cat. He's kind of, you don't even see him, and then all of a sudden it's over. Okay, let's move along to another great story here with the Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Carl Nassib, who came out announcing that he's gay, and then he turned around and also pledged $100,000 to the Trevor Project, which is for people that want to come out and share that story. He's the first active NFL player to come out. And this is just incredible news. And you would have seen like tweets, posts, just an outpouring of support from other NFL players and other sports figures. I mean, this is just such a great news story for the NFL. And, you could see in his post, he couldn't have been happier letting this information out and sharing himself with the world.
Listen, man, it takes a lot for people to come to terms with their sexuality. And there's a lot of strengths and structures within society that holds people back from being able to do that. So the fact that he had that comfort level to just say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And he went and he did it.
It's courageous.
Very courageous. I mean, that's tough. You're a football player. Everyone's like, oh, they're manly men. And blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter.
You get scrutinized for bad plays in football,
You do.
Personal views and all this other stuff, right?
So I'm just hoping that people aren't going to take this to another level when he does make a mistake and start doing some stupid stuff. Which, to be honest with you,
could happen.
It's probably going to. Especially
his jersey sales. His jersey sales are also flying right now.
Good.
On Fanatics, like his jersey is going hot like hotcakes right now.
So what they should be doing, Fanatics, NFL, start taking portions of those proceeds
right to the Trevor Project.
Put it to the Trevor Project. Multiply that 100K donation by 10, 15 times, and start doing something with. Sorry, there's a lot of letters. The lesbian, gay, bi, trans. QT plus.
This one, so the Trevor Project says saving young LGBTQ.
But there's another one.
This is like a suicide prevention hotline services to people who are falling into those categories.
Good. NFL, stand up. Do something with that.
Yeah, agree. Love it. Such a great story. Okay, let's talk about Loki. So I don't really know too much about the show, although what I remember about the name Loki was that in the movie The Mask starring Jim Carrey, Loki was the person that was in his mask. That's about all I know about this. So I'm going to leave it with you because you're the Marvel guy.
So obviously you're kind of right there.
Is it Loki, like God of Mischief, right?
Loki was the Norse god of mischief. Also Thor's half brother.
Okay.
Sort of adopted brother.
Wonder where that origin story is there.
Yeah. So basically, in the Avengers, the MCU, the Marvel character universe, he was unfortunately a character who did perish at the hands of Thanos. But there was a point in time when Loki disappeared from everything. So this show is all about where Loki went.
Okay.
During
this is getting like critical acclaim, or
it is through the roof. It is getting almost a 10 out of 10 from everyone that is watching this show.
Is this the first Marvel series? No.
So they had Wanda. There is Winter Soldier. There's some other ones, and then there's some other spin-off movies. Black Widow. So basically, they're trying to fill out the whole Endgame scenario because there's a portion where they're leaving kind of Tony Stark's tower, they're bringing Loki to justice, and then all hell breaks loose, and the Hulk comes down and starts smashing shit and starts breaking everything, and a case gets knocked over, and he grabs a cube, and he disappears. But I've watched about halfway through the first season, And
this is only have one season now, or is
only
there
one
more?
season right now.
Okay.
But I can definitely see this kind of being extended a bit. But I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I haven't been a big fan of the stuff they've put out to this point in terms of the TV shows.
Okay.
The shows that they got on the streaming services. I haven't been a huge fan of them. But this one I am definitely behind. I'm enjoying every second of this. And the great thing is that, Loki was kind of like that comedic relief of the Avengers series. So there's some really funny moments. You've got some notable people in the show as well. So it's a good watch. If you haven't checked it out or you don't have Disney Plus, as a Disney shareholder, I will tell you, go pick up Disney Plus. I need to increase my dividends on this. And it's a great show though.
Nice. Well, Luca came out this past weekend for all the kids. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
We've already ran through that a few times. So real quick, Phoenix Suns 21-19 with a minute and a half left in the first quarter. This is game 2. Suns taking the first game on Sunday evening. And then the Bucks will be hosting the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night.
And the Canadians are up 1-0 in the first over the Vegas Golden Knights.
There we go. All right. You want to take first crack here, or
I'll let you.
Let me go first? Okay. Let me just get a sigh of relief here because Ben Simmons, my man. I don't know if you saw this picture on social media today, but it's basically like LeBron and Durant and all these guys laughing behind Ben Simmons as he's popping a jumper. And I don't know how I've never seen that picture before, but listen, Ben, I don't think you're done as an NBA player. I'm not going to go that far. But if you can't shoot the basketball, if you're afraid to take a shot or to take an open dunk because you can't go to the free throw line and confidently shoot 60-70% from the line, I mean, listen, man, you need to get into the gym. You need to spend some time with some older players. You need to get out of your comfort zone, and you need to get out of Philly. Philly doesn't want you anymore. This is over for you in Philly. You're going to get traded. You're going to get bought out of your contract. Something's going to happen. But in the offseason right now, forget about playing for Australia. I think you already said that you're not committing and you're going to be working on your game. Listen, my man, just stand on the free throw line and put up 600 a day. This is not going to be a good career for you if you can't figure out how to shoot a basketball. I mean, it's 80% of the sport. I'm just trying to remain calm here because I don't want to rip him too hard. I actually feel a little bit bad for him.
The stats speak for themselves. I mean, fourth quarter
worst free throw shooter in NBA history with 70 attempts in the playoffs. And 70 plus attempts.
He's also disappeared during the fourth quarter of pretty much every game in the playoffs.
I don't hate Ben Simmons. Let me just get this straight. I actually don't hate him as a player. I just want that to be clear. It's not like how I hate LeBron.
I don't hate Ben Simmons either. I'm kind of indifferent with him. But I will say this. The first point is there was even an article talking about how he was going to change his dominant hand.
He shoots better with the right hand.
So here's where I'm going to kind of draw it back to my point in this whole story. The NBA needs to do something about kids coming out of school too early. And the NCAA needs to step up and let these kids, when they're in college, if they're stars, to make money off of signing signatures, memorabilia, or whatever it is.
That Ben Simmons is a guy. Now.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is a guy who needed 4 years in college. These kids need to be tutored to understand what this game is about. They need the reps. They need the practice. I mean, 1 year at LSU and he was injured and then he was drafted. So this kid does not – he hasn't been coached. He hasn't been coached properly. And this is what I will say. I'm not going to lay the blame on Ben Simmons at all. This isn't his fault. This is his coach's fault.
So are you saying that he shouldn't have been in the game at that point?
If he was ineffective and you're a coach and you're trying to win, do you have an ineffective player on the court in the fourth quarter, or are you putting an effective player in the fourth quarter?
So you're putting this on Doc Rivers.
I'm putting this on Doc Rivers. Doc, you're a horrible coach. Retire.
29
away
losses.
from this game.
29 losses in the playoffs.
Away from this game.
29
and just go
losses in the
home,
playoffs, man.
turn on the tube when your son's playing and cheer your son on. Get off the sidelines. I don't think anyone respects you as a coach. You have a horrible record, and every team that you touch just tanks. So, Doc, this is on you. And when you come out and say, someone says, can Ben Simmons be the point guard of a championship team? And you say you don't know the answer to that question, I'll tell you why. Because you're not a champion. So you have
He's not a championship
no idea.
coach. That's why. 29 losses with the game with the series on the line in the playoffs. Doc Rivers, not good, my man.
This is a kid, okay? He's not 30. He's not
35.
He's 24 years old.
Former Rookie of the Year.
He has not been coached properly his entire career. There's no guidance.
Is this the end for him in Philly?
That's an unmovable contract.
He needs a fresh start.
But who's gonna take him?
You're gonna have to give cash. He's got to get out for his own personal well-being and health and his ability to grow. Well, he needs to go to a team that's different where there are
the storylines that I'm seeing is that it's going to be a sign and trade with Toronto. Kyle going that way and Ben coming this way. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, do I think Nick Nurse could get something out of him? I think Nick Nurse is a great coach. He approaches coaching in a different way. I think Nick Nurse could probably do something with Ben Simmons.
I don't think Ben Simmons should be playing the point guard position. I don't know why you have him at point guard. I mean, he's good at facilitating the basketball, but you need to get him comfortable in and around the rim, and so you got to put him down low.
But, I mean, imagine you had a small forward or on the power forward who could pass like very well. That opens the floor up even more. So,
but he can't shoot. He's only effective at driving to the basket. So,
but
he's never going to draw a double team.
We have a guy here that does that already. Pascal Siakam, a guy who does not shoot very well, does not drive the basket very well. Has a lot of growing to do in his career.
He has a 30-point game though. Like, what's Ben Simmons' career high? He must have been shooting inside of the rim.
He also has a travel that costs people tickets. Okay, regardless of the fact, still, I don't think this is on Ben. I think people gotta chill. I think the people in Philly, you lost. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, but trusting the process has been 10 years now, man.
Dude, the process has been Embiid's BS. That's Embiid, the process. You ever heard the process come out of Ben Simmons' mouth? No. That's Embiid's fabrication.
Well, so it's the Philly process, right?
Well, still. No one else talks about it. It's just Embiid. That's Embiid's thing. And, and he comes out and doesn't even defend his guy. Like, what kind of teammate are you? Maybe you need a fresh start.
I don't think there's any way that Ben Simmons plays for Philly next year.
Then he'll be in Shanghai. I mean, playing for the Shanghai Sharks.
You're going to have to go to someone who's willing to put the time and energy into him. You got to get him out of his comfort zone. From what I'm hearing recently, and I think Stephen A. actually had put this out, was that he got a call saying that, he's just too comfortable. He's got his family by his side all the time. He's got this, and it's just comfortable. He's got the contract. Maybe this guy doesn't want to win. Like, if he doesn't have the will to win as a basketball player, maybe he just doesn't have that motivation.
I don't know. Can you really say that about a professional athlete, that they're just too comfortable and they don't want to win?
This is their ride. I mean, if you told me that, hey, if I had the ability to code, one of these Microsoft apps or whatever, and I mean, I'm not going to love coding, but hey, if it's going to make me $1 billion or $1 million or $5 million, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but he's still got to have some kind of a passion to play the game.
Just look at him.
Yeah, but Lonzo Ball has a weird delivery. LaMelo Ball has a weird delivery.
They hit shots.
they I mean, it's not like he's never hit a shot.
They can shoot a free throw, 38% or whatever it was. I mean, that's atrocious. That's like Shaq. That's Shaq numbers, man. It's worse than Shaq. Worse than Shaq.
Yeah, that's worse than Shaq.
It's like, Shaq shooting a ball like you're holding, like you or me are holding a tennis ball. That's what he's dealing with. Ben Simmons doesn't have that problem.
The one thing that I have a problem with is the foul shooting, because I literally won a local foul shot competition.
It's a free throw.
10 years in a row. Like, I won it every year because it's the easiest shot to make. It's the easiest shot to make. But
Shoot it off the backboard.
Yeah, I don't
Throw
know
it hard off the
if
backboard.
it's his routine or his pre-work, or I don't know what it is.
It's in his mind.
Someone's got to figure it out if they want to take a rider on him, and especially if you can fleece Philly for him, which I think at this point in time you probably could fleece Philly for him, and you can fix him, then take a rider, take a shot on him. I mean, what's his contract at?
I don't know, but I can't even anymore with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, I'm sorry, man, but like, you just got to find the shot, man. Just honestly, just go to the free throw line and just spend your summer there. Don't worry about shooting anything else that's longer than 10 or 12 feet. That's not your shot. Was he at 25 a mil? 25 a year?
5-year, $177 million. So do you have to fault Ben Simmons for that money, or do you have to fault the Philadelphia 76ers for signing him to that contract?
He was better a couple years ago, though.
But he signed that contract last year. This is the first year of it. He's making 30 this year, next year 33, then 35, then 37, and 24-25. He will be making $40 million a year.
He's still averaged 14.3 points this year. Free throw shooting was at 600, so he just failed big time in the playoffs. 2-point percentage was .562. And I mean, he took like 1-3 he took like 5 threes and got 1.
Okay, so he's got a 15% trade kicker in his contract.
Where they'll eat 15% of that contract price?
They're going to have to amend that contract to eat like 80% of that contract, because no team in their right mind is going to take someone who can't shoot free throws.
Is he even a $15 million player, you think?
What did he average this year? 14?
14 and a bit.
So
I think his role needs to be defined. Maybe they haven't defined his role and what his idea is.
So that's the thing. I mean, you can put some blame on him, but I think you need to put some blame on the organization as well. Am I going to give him a contract bigger than Norm Powell? Probably not. Am I going to give him a contract bigger than Fred VanVleet? Probably not. Am I going to pay him more money than Pascal Siakam as much as I don't like him? Probably not.
One of the worst contracts, that contract. For
That's a very
terrible
bad contract, but when you look at it, Ben Simmons' contract's far worse than Pascal's.
The reason I don't like Pascal's is different. It's because Raptors didn't need to pay him that much, and they renegotiated a year early. They could have got. I'm not saying that he was, after a championship season, you paid the man $1.9 million or whatever, but you had him where you wanted him, and you could have got less. You could have paid him less money.
But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a kid who won Rookie of the Year
in his second year.
He had one All-NBA third team All-NBA, and he first team All-NBA. So, I mean, is he really that bad, or did he have a bad playoff?
Might be. I just can't see Philly bringing him back. I don't think the fans will accept that.
Philly's
not a tough town. You've been to Philly, you know what it's like.
Yeah, no, I've been there. I've had friends get pushed down aisles because they were cheering for the wrong team. It's a very tough town. I've been into several conversations with Philly fans over
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'll put some blame on him, but I think Doc Rivers is the guy who should be out first, because how do you have a guy in there who scores 0 points in the fourth quarter, 4 out of the 7 games?
For his defense, that's how.
Yeah.
Stop giving him the ball. Stop passing him the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, that's going to be a wrap for us. Thank you guys for joining us. We want you to please like. It's the easiest way to move our channel forward and change the algorithm for us. Please like that. Let us know what you thought about any of the topics here or topics you want us to cover in future the casts. If you want to subscribe to our channel, Junior, how easy is it to subscribe to our channel?
There should be a little button right down there. You click on it, you say yes, and turn your post notifications on, and you're gonna get everything that we got. We
go live all the time.
We cracked open a couple boxes of cards the other day. We pulled a Gretzky and a Howe and some Trouts and some
monsters.
Great cards. Big
monsters.
Hits. Big hits.
Yeah.
I think we've got bets coming up on Thursday.
Bets on Thursday.
Lace up next week. More cast. More eats.
More
There's tons of stuff. If you like life, we have content for you. Round the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Adam.
I'm Junior. See
you
real soon.